Welcome back to LG Runs Wild. We are here this week. It's a little bit different setup. We got four guys, not three. What up, Gazelle?
How's it going, bud?
Oh, it's Friday night. We're out hanging out. We got a new member here tonight. Brody, LG McDonald's with us. How you doing?
Going on, not too much. Hanging out. A little late, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we tend to do these shows a little bit later. Kind of works out better for us because heading to the weekend, people can watch it all weekend long. Batty, this Chacha, sexy cow.
I combed my hair for this shit today.
Atta boy. You just every week you slowly add onto your persona of sexy cow.
Yeah,
this
I
week
told
you
Han.
combing the hair.
Yeah, combing my hair and making it luscious.
So you're at,
Beautiful lock.
it's trade deadline and you're already at 50 trades this season.
51.
Wait, what? What did you do?
Wait.
Oh man, this guy. I swear, he's gonna do another tradement show and we're all gonna be like, Batty, what did you pull off this time? Last time he gets Thunder Chunk.
No, that was a good trade.
It was.
Oh, look at that. That is a big trade. And Batty has made a big trade. He's now
Yep.
It's official.
Trade deadline day. Let's go.
This guy has dedication, everyone. This guy's doing trades well on the podcast.
Yeah. So how's everyone's week this week, for real?
Like, game-wise?
Yeah.
Brody and I are on the same line. We went 3-0.
We haven't lost since 1993.
Straight.
I think you took a few L's on my Kalamazoo team, Brody.
Yeah, it's because you can't build teams. It's like you put like.
You're
5
not
different
wrong.
teams,
You're not wrong.
Surround me with people that can't play the game.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
You're not wrong.
I'm just glad that you're a good human being. If it wasn't for that, it'd just be over for you.
I still am a sexy cow, though. I have luscious locks.
There you go.
I feel like that one season though, where we lost to
That's the second tagger.
Fort Wayne. I think we had a pretty decent team that season. But we weren't gonna win it all, but we definitely we should have won that series.
I joked. It's okay.
It is what it is.
I just remember how salty you were after this Fort Wayne stuff came down.
Oh
Yeah.
Man. Oh,
Yeah.
you were salty for weeks.
Yeah.
understandable though.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough.
It happens. I'm really excited to see what teams show themselves in the CHL to be like the real deal. And it's gonna come out like I don't think I've seen any trades really be one-sided so far yet this week either.
No, not really. I mean, there was a bit of an overpayment in one trade, but that's really about it.
We can go into that if you want.
Oh man, I just don't get selling half of your good depth TCs for one mediocre player.
Yo, Johnny's on the move.
Johnny is on the move.
You just now saw that? Come on, give
Yeah,
me
I
time.
did. I'm well. Wrong. I was I was in the AHL shout box. Sorry,
Oh, that's
sorry,
why
you're so cool.
I had to click to the CHL one. That was on the wrong one.
He's in the moon with all his ponies back there.
Yeah,
It's all good. You've made
I really don't understand that trade though, for real.
yeah no.
Which trade are you guys talking
the
about?
Regina Spokane, the 6-for-3. It was like 2 TCs and D Pittman, which was what Spokane was after, and Danke threw like the whole depth of his TC at
That's
Regina.
insane.
One roster for
Oh wow.
it was a one roster for one roster, but then it was 5 TCs for 2 TCs, and it was like all the good depth players.
Not even that. He sent 2 draft picks, an AHL send down, a guy who was on his roster until he went through waivers and cleared, a roster forward, and then a TC.
Yeah. Yeah.
All for a guy who
It's
could come up.
and he's like a mediocre player.
Maybe he just does shit like that just so people talk about it.
What's that?
You ever think he ever just does stuff like that so people just talk about it though?
Oh, 100% he does.
There's people out there that just like they just do shit like that so they can be heard or be spoken about or be like, oh yeah, that's crazy to that. It's like, you know what I mean? I think that happens sometimes too. People just kind of
Oh, guaranteed.
like to be in the limelight, so.
Brody, why do you think I make 50 fucking trades?
He needs to be
Yeah,
in the. He has to win something.
I'm not winning anything else.
Gotta be ahead on something, man. There you go.
Right.
It's just kind of funny because like I remember like I think it was the VHL season before we came to LG, maybe the season before that. Like SJU Soccer's NHL team like didn't make a single trade the whole season and won the cup.
Oh. Oh yeah,
Like,
I remember
literally didn't make
hearing
one
about that.
trade. It was LA Kings team. Like they didn't make a trade. They literally went to bidding, bid their team, didn't have a single player quit, and didn't make a single trade.
That's
Awesome.
sick.
Just like, and then won the cup. So just like, it does it get any better than that? Like it's pretty impressive to be like, yo, this is my team, this is my roster, this is what we're doing. Like, thanks for coming out. Good luck. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
You don't see that anymore.
Like I actually made like a trade counter, and I like have every team like up to date right now except for the Vadi trade, with how many trades each team's made. And, like there's like 4 teams that are like 7 or 6 or 5, and then there's teams that are like 37 and 40 and then 51.
I think some teams just like to trade too. Like some guys just like to be like, oh fuck, let's, this is like fantasy hockey. It is like,
Yeah.
I know I play fantasy at work all the time. There's some guys that every fucking week are just like making a move to make a move. It's just like it just that's the way it is. It's like, all right, man, like to each their own. Like cool. But yeah, I just feel like that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. People just want to fucking move people, and it is what it is. I also feel like it's like I've never managed. I'm glad because it's not something I'd ever be interested in. But it's I kind of feel like it's also really difficult to win a trade. Like maybe this deadline, like the deadline's a little bit easier. If you can maybe sweet talk someone or pay a little bit for one extra piece. But it's kind of like there's not really much to be had at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And we try to police that shit hard enough too. That like if something like really dumb happens, it's like we're gonna step in and fix it up. So I think that especially at the CHL tier, I think that's a deterrent enough to just ensure that like no stupid shit happens. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like it's end of week 6 and we already have 4 teams clinched for playoffs. 3 of them in the OHL.
who are they though?
So WHL Seattle, OHL Sault Ste. Marie, Kingston, and Oshawa. Like Kingston's at 91 points, the Greyhounds are at 86, Oshawa's at 77, and the Thunderbirds are at 79.
Plymouth,
The bottom end of that,
fucking wagon. This team's gonna be really good again.
Who? Plenty?
that like middle tier. Holy crap.
Which one? OHL?
Yeah, the Eastern. There's a huge drop off after
After the Bulldogs.
I would even say the Ice Dogs.
Yeah, I
I didn't
guess.
realize Montreal was such a up there so high either.
Yeah. But like, look at the Western though. Like, look how tight that is from 2nd through 6. It's 9 points, 10 points, whatever.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then you have the WHL, and it's 6 points from 2nd to out of playoffs. In the East.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at that now.
Yeah, but hey, according to Dakey, it's the easiest division.
He's like, we'd be in first if we were in the easy conference. Like,
I actually think this is probably, like I said a few shows ago, this is like the most parity I've seen in this league in a long time.
yay. Yay, balancing the divisions did something.
Yeah.
Being in
I
first
think
in the
that's
weaker
fair. That's probably a
divisions.
fair way of putting it. It does look, it's not too bad. There's always top heavy teams too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
But like I
the-
think bidding pool helped a lot too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now-
bidding wasn't too bad. I don't know. I think that like when you hear guys say, "Well, if we were in this division, it'd be easier. We'd be a lot higher." Well, good luck when it comes to playoffs. I'd rather be in the tough division. You're already playing close games all season, so
Yeah. Like, oh man, I don't know how many games I've played against like the top teams in the OHL, whether it's been like club or like LG games, and like they're good, like really good. Like all three lines are deep on all those teams. Like,
Well, I think the only top team in the O that we haven't played was Kingston. We haven't played a Kingston game yet, but just hasn't worked out that way. But like we've played.
I think we play them this weekend.
Sorry,
We play them tomorrow or Sunday.
do we?
Yeah,
I don't think so, dude.
pretty sure.
I can tell you.
I know.
You don't.
No. Oh,
No.
okay.
Mhm.
I know we have London.
We have an easy Sunday, I think.
London, Guelph, and Windsor. Oh, okay. Oh well. All good.
Yeah. All depending on what lines they throw at us, it could be
Yeah.
half decent or it could be a cakewalk. It all depends.
Subtle brag, but we're the only line in the entire league that's 16-1-1 or better.
Yeah, I think we have our goalie to handle or to thank for that though.
Oh yeah,
There's lots
Trevor,
of-
100%.
Lots of games that we've been out of that he's wasn't for him, we'd be fucked.
Oh, guaranteed. Trevor is
And even
the
games
best.
too that like, we scored really late to tie it, or like the Oshawa game like last week or week before that, and then there was a game against fucking Guelph too that we shouldn't have won either. of those
Oh,
games,
the
but we
Guelph
did.
game, man, that was bad. Outshot like 34-8, and we still won.
There was one game too, wasn't it? Didn't we get outshot like 57-14? We won overtime.
I think so, yeah. Something stupid like that.
Yeah, so it's their goalie, man. That makes such a difference.
Yeah, he's
It's
Mhm.
fine. Like, when we're on, we're on. It's like it's really bad.
yeah. That's
Oh.
okay.
I wish the one game that I played that I was on, I didn't have my center lag out.
Oh yeah, you guys were up 5-1 and you forfeit.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That's
that hurts.
Uh,
Like,
it,
I
it
would
does a
be-
lot more than hurt. After getting your ass kicked the first two games, the center quits on your team pretty much, like without quitting on your team. But like, oh, something came up,
That's brutal.
game 3, and then suddenly it all clicks. The guy we had on lefty moves the right wing. We get a lefty and it clicks, and we're beating Seattle 5-1.
and then the power goes out.
No, even worse, his modem completely shit out.
Oh,
Terrible.
that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
and then you get an L with it. Yeah, that sucks.
It was rough. It was rough. I mean, that's why I'm all these trades I'm making. I have TCs coming back. I'm not messing around.
Just in case it
You might,
happens
you
again.
might not make
Yeah.
playoffs, but you don't want to forfeit again.
Dude, I have seriously like prided myself. I've never forfeited. I think even Sport Freak came into the chat and was like, "Vatty, I've never seen you forfeit." And I'm like, "Yeah, that happened."
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
So week 5, we got to see, or week 6, we got to see some movement and more parity in the standings. Spokane moved up. As much as I hate to see it, Spokane moved up. They finished the week on a 5-win streak.
oh, nice.
Yeah. Edmonton Sport Freaks team is on an 8-game win streak. They're absolute torching teams now, though. Like, they found their groove.
Yeah,
Like, be prepared, and they're gonna take over.
it was
They're
gonna happen. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
too.
Sport Freak and the boys are gonna just completely take over that division now. I think it's just like tweak here at the deadline and then go 2 weeks right into playoffs.
I'm looking at other teams. It looks like Oshawa's on just a tear right now.
They've been on a tear lately, yeah.
But really, the one that I'm kind of shocked is North Bay had a 6-1-3.
Yes,
That's big
they've
for their
been
playoff
big.
standings
Um,
because
Yeah.
they want to get in that 4 or 5 spot, I bet, so they don't have to face those top 3.
I still can't believe Peterborough's on a 17-game losing streak. Like, Tri-City was reset to 0-27, and they're at 26 points right now. And Peterborough's at 18.
Yeah,
I don't know. What is going on with that? Like, you see more. Have they asked for help? Like, what?
They're just, it's not clicking. It's not
functional?
It's just not working. Like, whatever they've got going over there, like, I don't know if it's management issues, if it's player issues, but whatever's going on, it's not working. It's not a good time to be in Peterborough. As a,
I mean, props to them for still playing
oh
their
yeah,
games,
they're
though.
still playing their games. They're getting absolutely stomped in 90% of them, but like we got to play them for the first time this week too, and it was just like, oh my god, this is just brutal.
You know.
Yeah, it was definitely easy.
They got a negative 160 goal differential. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't even want to touch on that. It's like, it hurts.
yeah,
It feels like, yeah.
that's insane. Wow.
man.
What I'm gonna keep being shocked by is Barry. I really thought Barry was gonna be better this season.
I mean, I had high hopes for them, and it's just
I just thought the management team was really good.
I think if they run
Like
it
Sean
back,
Sal.
yeah, I think if they run it back next season with the core that they built towards this second half, they might be better.
Yeah.
Ooh, Barry.
Yeah, like if they run it back like next season, yes, it's a different game. But if they keep their core guys that they gel with and that are working, they can contend better next year. Like, it's kind of late now, but it's also not. They're 7 points
I
out.
think they have potential. You know who I'm gonna. You know what? I'm doing it. You know what I'm really proud of though.
What's
Snoopy,
that?
Snoopy.
Why?
I'm rooting for you, buddy. Go look at that playoff
I
race,
know
son.
he's 1 point out. He's 1 point out.
I was gonna say this. If they beat the Attack, that's impressive.
Yo, it's the turnaround point. Telling you.
It's really interesting though because they haven't. I don't think they've made that many trades.
Erie? Yeah, no, they're not a big
Yeah.
trade team.
And so, like, they've kind of, I don't know. It's just interesting to see it all finally clicking together. It's kind of cool.
I don't know. I hear stories from Roger all day, every day about how Erie is, so I might have just a negative viewpoint, I guess, of the whole team and scenario.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Roger.
it's Roger.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you get the same thing from Sudbury, though.
Oh no, not so much Sudbury. I thought Facchetti would be like losing his mind more, but no,
I thought he would too, honestly.
no.
But
You hear it more from Crooked.
he's
He was on Peterborough and Vancouver.
Yeah.
no. But now he's on Regina.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the first place team now.
I don't know how,
I don't know how either.
but good for him. Good for him.
Some solid
That's all I gotta
charity work
say.
by Regina there.
Now, going it's close to playoffs, obviously, pretenders and contenders. Which top seed do you think really doesn't belong to be there? Personally, I still think the Regina Pats are not contenders; they're more pretenders. I think they're just really lucky with what they got this season.
I'll be 100% honest. I don't think anybody out of that WHL Eastern's going very far. I mean, obviously someone's got to get to the championship, but I don't think you
It'll
have
be
any
the
clue who
Oil
it's going to
Kings.
be. I think it's the Oil Kings.
Oil Kings. Sorry, Vatty, I'm not choosing you.
No, I don't. I if I make playoffs,
You're fighting for a first round sweep?
I actually, no, I don't think I am.
No.
Like, I confidently can tell you I'm more scared of the Raiders and the Oil Kings than any other team in that division or conference.
Oh, probably yeah.
Like, I think we beat the Wheat Kings almost every time this season. Like, same thing with the Pats. The Pats just lag out of every game.
Yeah, they're having issues.
So,
It's
yeah,
lag out every game.
they
That's
really
tough.
do.
No, they
Uh,
do. We're dealing with that. I can actually probably touch on that later, but it's fine.
but
Mm.
I think like the Pretenders, I definitely like the Eastern, the Pats and the Hitmen. I don't see it.
No.
I think the West is stupid good, but I think Everett's gonna fall out, and I think Spokane's gonna fall out, and Portland's gonna move up.
Really? You think Portland's gonna make a move?
I think Portland's been quietly doing moves. Like if you go look at their last few moves, they're kind of interesting.
Well, you have to remember they had to make up for Razor Gods quitting. So
Yeah,
that's a
that's true.
lot of good firepower player right there.
They picked up like Wojtek, Omega TML. Like they picked up some guys
Some
that are
yeah,
interesting.
some bigger names.
Yeah, and I think like that'll help. Uh, Chicken tends to get the most out of guys like that.
True.
Like he really can squeeze every ounce of talent out of players. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think for WHL? I love Victoria Kamloops and Seattle. I mean
Oh yeah,
they're
those
all
guys
3
for
are
sure.
unbelievable.
Everett's not too bad either.
I'm I'm surprised by Everett Pedersen. I didn't expect that. Like I expect that out of Echo, yes, because he's experienced manager, but not from Pedersen as the main like owner. So
I think Patterson did a lot of scouting, and he went for the players he knew that worked best together. And I think in a season like this, where the bidding pool's low, talent's not all there, like he went with a guy. He was on Patterson was on my team last season, and he grabbed a guy that we ECU'd like a few times for us in Leafs in 6, and that kid's like killing it. He's 10-3-4. Never played an LG game. Like he just kind of picked up the guys that work and made it. Put them out there and they work.
like
I think that chemistry is a big thing this season.
oh, 100%.
I've literally never played the W.
You've never played in the W?
No, if I would have went to bidding this season, I probably would have landed on Kamloops.
Yeah.
You would have been
they're
expensive.
They're one of the teams that were really I was playing with before the season started. Before I decided if I was going to resign or not.
Well, I'm glad you resigned. Yo, you would have been like 5-6 million bidding,
Probably, yeah.
and I
At
think
least.
yeah, and you're like 2.75, I think 3.75.
Got really good availability this season. Just don't have the time to play as much.
Yeah. Okay, OHL now. We gotta talk about those pretenders.
I think those Kitchener Rangers, those guys are pretenders. Yeah,
Like
they
after
gotta.
the last couple weeks, I'd have to agree.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think you guys got a decent roster though.
It's our goalie though. Their
Yeah.
goaltending has literally kept us in everything. Like this week was a rough week, but
And even then, I think we only let
We
in
went-
4 or less every game.
we went 3-0. But it's like they weren't spectacular by any means. We beat a pretty bad team in the last game of the week, and the other ones that we squeaked out. I think so. It wasn't like it was a dominant performance from
Yeah.
us by any means. And then one of our other lines went 0-3, I think. And
Yeah.
Been there.
Yep.
it's honestly it's our goaltending though. Like if it wasn't for Trevor, it's completely different for us for sure.
Yeah.
And if we don't figure it out, it's not going to be a very good playoff run.
No.
Like right now we're playing the Firebirds. I'm not too concerned about that. But like second round would be probably as far as we'll go if we didn't start piecing it together.
No.
We were playing like half of the Saskatoon Blades last week. If you make it to the first round. I've traded a lot with Flint. That's what I'm saying.
Oh man.
You'll be fine.
I
That was
don't-
another team that had interest in me too. Played with
Who's
those guys.
Flint?
Yeah, I played those guys way back in the day.
Oh yeah, like their team when they got together at first this season, I
Yeah.
actually thought they were gonna be like low key really good because they had
Yeah.
Welch's, they had
Yeah,
um
Welch, Tibbs,
Tiz.
Ellie are all like they live in the same area. Like they're literally
Yeah.
friends in real life.
Yeah. I thought so too.
Uh, I really think I haven't played a lot of the O teams. Sault Ste. Marie, of course. I think Kingston, but
Oh,
like I think
Kings.
that's like a given that those four to five teams. I would say Sault Ste. Marie, Kingston, Oshawa, and then Niagara. I would still put Niagara over Mississauga.
Oh,
Nothing against Mississauga,
100%. No,
but
100%.
I don't think it matters. So like, there's no way Kingston doesn't come out of
Their
their side.
conference, yeah.
And then I think,
Yeah.
no, I think the Sioux are really good if we get our shit together. But no, Saginaw is a really good team.
they have so much chemistry, like
Yeah,
because they play in other leagues together.
I think I'd rather play the Greyhounds than play Saginaw. To be honest, Saginaw's a really good squad.
Yeah.
The games we have played against them this season, it's just like holy fuck, these guys know what's up. Like
We've
again, it's just
Yeah.
our goalie stealing the show and us scoring on like every chance we
and
get.
we've
Which is,
and we played their like top lines too. So like we've got like Conrad Borker who's leading the league in points, and
yeah, they're good. They have really good. Like they play really well together.
How do you feel about Sarnia from two guys from the OHL? Like they look like two lines deep, but their
That-
third line looks really iffy.
yeah, that's
They were really good this like early on in the season. Like the start of the season, they were they were like, oh yeah, these guys could probably make a run. But I haven't played them in a little bit. It looks like maybe they've fallen off a bit. But
Yeah. It's tough because like they do have the 1-2 line, and then like the third line is like, and we're praying for a win.
oh, it's like your team last season. Your third line didn't win a single playoff game.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It hurt. And like, oh, thanks for the sub, dude. Look at that. Winkle subbing, guys.
There you go.
I'm pumped for when we start our own channel next season when we get all the subs and all that, and when the payouts go, we send it to a donation.
Yeah.
Or
That's gonna be cool.
yeah, I'm pumped for that. So. But yeah.
Hold on, I gotta call out Danky real quick.
Oh no, do it.
What friends do I have in the league, Danky? I don't know nobody. Well, I know everybody, but nobody like me. Get out of here. I don't pick anybody. Friendship. Best friend's my dog. Get the hell out of here.
We're gonna be taking questions for Brody, guys, in a few minutes. So if you guys got anything that you want to send him, put it in the chat, and we'll be able to send that, or we'll be able to ask it for you guys. But yeah, no, I'm pumped for playoffs because I'm gonna be fresh off my trip that I'm going on. Like this weekend, I'm gone. I leave Monday morning. Miss week 8, so.
I guess we have 2 weeks left.
What's that?
Yeah, 2 weeks left, and then we're done.
Yeah.
Then it's playoffs.
Yeah, so waiver deadline coming in a week. That'll be fun.
Oh yeah.
I love waiver deadline because now it's just like no rush to put guys in like last second. It's just like, okay guys, midnight, here you go. They're just like, okay.
I was actually shocked AHL and NHL waivers, like for the conditional waivers, actually ended pretty quick.
Oh, did it?
The guys, yeah, like teams can still call up, but there isn't any more guys on waivers as of like I think it was like Tuesday this last week.
Yeah, the season was it's a typical summer season. Not a lot of issues. Nothing really going on. It's been kind of nice.
Yeah, it's been a pretty chill season.
I find summer seasons are always like that. It's like people that are here that do sign up are here to play and want to be here. And it's less bullshit, less going on. Managers just like they get it at this point. So
Yeah,
Oh man.
I agree.
Oh, Duwinkle, you gifted a sub to Johnny because he says I treat my players here in Flint. Are you gonna take that, Batty? Jeez. That sounds almost like a call out there. You don't treat your players?
Well, Johnny did the whole thing where he like stalemated out of the joining the Discord. And so I like took the initiative and I was like, listen, I know you don't want to be on a for sure non-playoff team? Do you want to get moved? And then he sent me that. Oh, Eddie, it's okay, we're friends. And then I was like, fuck you.
Nice.
Oh, and now he's so happy that he's a Firebird.
That's pretty much it, right, Johnny? I mean, no doubt.
Ouchies. uh,
I just
love
noticed we went to commercial break too on mine. So like,
Oh, that's always nice.
that's great.
Love that Twitch implementation there.
Brody,
Right.
Gingy is asking why you guys are handing out IR forfeits when we get 6 a season. Sorry if this was explained already.
What does he mean? I don't.
Oh,
Didn't he answer his own question?
so I'm assuming he just wants to know why like we're handing them out now when they get 6 a season, I'm assuming. Because like we just started doing with the Johnny with setting up PMs and now the managers are filing the IR forfeits and all that.
Is
These
it-
guys are supposed to do it from the beginning. He never did.
Isn't Gingy in the A though?
No idea.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah.
The question doesn't make a lot of sense, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused by it as well.
like, is he asking why are we handing out IR forfeits like right now? I don't get
I
it
don't get the
either.
question, yeah.
So we have record of it.
So that way we know when you missed games, so that way we can keep track of it. And then if you're not active enough, we can remove you. So that another active player can play.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so I signed up late, was on the C for 2 weeks, missed a week because of internet issues and needed an ECU. Yeah, okay, so he's talking about like early in the week CHL or early in the season CHL, you got IR forfeits from it. But Brody answered that already.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg's first gifting 2 subs to Jiffy Pop and How to FIFA. Of all people, you picked FIFA. The chat box, banned it. I'm
Interesting.
trying to read the chat.
Can he say again, my bad, I got an ad.
No.
I believe
Send a DM.
Send us-
If I remember right, the exact quote was because Buck should have been doing them all season. So I don't know. Yeah.
Send a site PM. Johnny, get ready.
There you go.
But yeah, so I'm leaving for 2 weeks, and I'm leaving Facchetti in charge of the CHL for 2 weeks. The running joke is that he's gonna burn it down.
Gonna burn it to the ground.
Oh, I'm just like, you can't do this. I'm still gonna be able to check my phone like every 12 hours. Oh,
Oh wow.
Danky just gifted 5 subs. Danky, I know you like it when we talk about you, but this is a horrible way to get us to talk about you in a positive light.
I think the best part is he gave one to Vatty.
Oh. Oh, yeah, the millionaire. He's a millionaire, don't you know?
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
Can he fund? I need the thumbs. Thanks.
We're allowed 6 and I only use 3. Why am I being punished for that? You're not being punished. It should have been issued so you get 6. So the tally's there. That way we can keep track of it. So you use 3 of your 6. That's all it is. It's not a punishment.
It's literally irrelevant when it was filed.
Yeah.
Like it's just for tracking purposes. So if you lost it now, it doesn't really matter. It's not like you're gaining extra 6. Like you're still getting 6 total. It's just being documented down.
Yeah. Um, I
Flex on the base.
I was expecting trade deadline to be, crazier. I know it's just
Mhm.
Friday night, but like the CHL one trade deadline is normally like constant like trades, and then like just it's crazy like the last 2 hours. Like it hasn't been
Yeah,
too busy yet.
No, it's summer season though. It's just kind of it's a little bit tighter this summer season. I find.
yeah. The
This
AHL and NHL trade deadline wasn't that bad. It was mostly TCs being flipped back and forth.
like
Yeah, definitely.
there's like a lot of trades that have happened, but like again, yeah, it's just TC flips here and there, and like there's no like major pieces moving. I
I
guess
think most teams know the guys that they have and that they're going to keep, right? And there's
yeah,
not much out there for them to go and grab that's reasonable. I think Brody said it earlier. Like, there's just some of the trades that you're going to get roped into, or like, you want this guy, I want those two, and it's like, well, I'm not willing to move those two. It's just one of those. There's just not the deep, or I guess the depth pool of known guys out there that are worth certain stuff. So um, yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't think you're going to see much movement from big pieces, anyways.
I think a big part of that too is the fact that the talent pool is so shallow. Like the big pieces are stuck where they are because
Yeah.
like there's not that many, or the cap hits are just too
Yep.
high. Like
Yep.
so.
Yep. There's that too.
Um, Brody, there was a question in our Discord actually from yesterday. They asked, "Are we getting the Q and ECHL back for season 43?"
Well, it's completely dependent on sign-up numbers. Obviously, the goal is the Q. That's kind of number one. ECHL will see, but the goal is the Q for sure. But again, it's completely based on how people sign up.
Like, we wanted to get it back this season. Like, well, the last
Like, you know,
two
you might
seasons.
we might end up with a version of the game people don't like, and sign numbers are really low, and we don't have it.
Honestly, I've enjoyed the 42 team CHL the last 3 seasons. It's kind of been a nice, refreshing feeling. It's competitive as shit.
Yeah, it's been good for sure. So we'll see what happens. It could end up being just as good depending on what we do. So we'll see.
When do signups for season 43 open?
Uh,
Isn't that round one of playoffs?
yes and no. It normally is, but with this being like the longer season, I might wait until they drop some news about 23. Kind of use that hype around it because it's one of those things where it's like, if I could open them right now, the game's not out for like another like few months, and it's like now no one.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to play. They're dealing with like retirements and then guys that want to come out of retirement. It's better if I just wait till September. There's information about the new game and that type of stuff. So I'll probably hold off for now.
I know someone's saying like ECHL over the Q. I know we had discussed this kind of like separately, but like how if we don't have enough signups to bring back the Q to make it like 60 teams, making it so it's like we can do like 50 teams and do like WHL and ECHL. So we have one different jerseys, two. It's just added more teams.
No, for sure. There's different combinations with how many, teams are in each of those leagues. But
Yeah.
it's way too soon to kind of even have those type of discussions because it really depends on do we have the player signups and then what do we have for managers, right? So.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I've got a couple preliminary ideas in my head about what I want to do. It just all depends on, what we get for numbers, what we get for managers, where we're at with the game. It could be one of those things where, beta comes out, people love the game, hype is there, we get crazy sign numbers and we can do so much, or it's the complete opposite. People hate beta, game doesn't sell very well, we're real low, we're stuck kind of scrambling to have what we have right now. So we'll see.
Oh man, I feel like
Really on the game.
yeah, it does. I feel like though, regardless of that, like the CHL managers, like we always have like a very high retain percentage. of like CHL management owners. This season was a little bit rougher, but like normally I'm in like 85% for the 40 teams.
I just think it's there's a lot of factors there are like
Yeah.
it's summertime. It's
Yeah.
there's no restrictions anymore. The world's kind of back to being normal again. Some people didn't want to do it, which I get, but yeah, we've been pretty lucky for sure.
Oh man. Gazelle, you look like you've been thinking for a while. What's cooking in that little head of yours?
No, I'm just reading stuff. I think, summer seasons are always down because it's summer.
Yeah.
I think with the new game and stuff, I think we'll see some good sign up numbers, but you never know.
To be honest, over the past 5 years, the summer season has had more players than the fall season.
Yeah.
So it's always one of those things where it's like, there's more people have the game, and even too, I'm pretty sure the game's probably free right now too. Like if you wanted the game, it's probably free in the.
Yeah, it's free on EA Play right now.
Like in the EA Vault, is that what it's called, or EA Access? Like all that's so. People that want to play, it's like, well, here you go. The game's free. Have at her.
And I think there's a couple PlayStation questions in there too.
What's that?
Let's see. First one, the big question is esports coming to PlayStation 5 for 23.
Again, that's completely dependent on sponsorship and direction they want to go. As of right now, it's been so heavy on Xbox, simply because it's been next gen. So the hope would be obviously that if we go next gen on PlayStation, that we can bring some events for PlayStation for 23 as well. So that's kind of where we're at. So fingers crossed for that. So we'll see what the future holds. It's always in discussions when we're pitching ideas and events to sponsors and stuff too. Obviously, the goal is they want numbers, they want teams, they want that. So it's been unfortunate with us having the game on like so many versions. Like 4 versions of the game doesn't help anyone, especially a community that's small like us. So
yeah,
PlayStation 5 is the first step to hopefully bringing back some more esport events for our PlayStation community for sure.
Another PlayStation question: are there any concerns about switching to PS5 only for season 21?
The only really concern would be obviously sign up numbers. Right now there's, I guess, 1,600. There's more than 50% of the current PlayStation signups have a PlayStation 5, so it's going to be a major drop off initially. That's kind of a given, but that's it's growing pains. It's the way it's going to be. It's just a matter of time. NHL 24 is likely, I would bet, a lot of money isn't going to be offered on PlayStation 4, which means eventually we're going to have to make the switch. We're going to have to make the jump sooner than later, and I'd rather just do it now, get ourselves ready to go, get people prepped, because in the future, it's if you want to play hockey, you're going to have to upgrade your console anyways. I think it's a better time to do it now than what it would have been a year ago. There wasn't the PlayStations weren't as available as they were. We were sitting at 20 or 30% of the community had a PlayStation 5, so being over 50, I think we're like 58% now last time we looked, so it's on the right track. Ideally by September, with the news of us doing this, maybe by September we'll have 2,000 players with PlayStation 5, and we kind of go from there.
That's fair. Someone said EA hates tendies. Please use your contacts at EA to get custom goalie helmets. Thank you sincerely, the goalie community.
I think they've been asking for that for like years.
Yeah, we have.
It would be sweet though. Like, it's definitely something that, it's definitely on their radar as well. It's something they hear all the time. Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Someone had asked yesterday. I forgot to. I think I had highlighted it, but can't find it anymore. But it's like, what are you most looking forward to, or like, would you want to see in NHL 23?
What do I want to see in 23?
Yeah.
I think with all the talks of like what FIFA and Madden everyone's doing, obviously crossplay is kind of the buzz with all those communities. So obviously, the sooner the NHL gets that, the better it's going to be for everyone. We're such a small gaming community compared to FIFA or Madden too, that if we can play console to console, it'll double down the player pool, make things a lot easier for everyone. So that would be kind of ideal. And then the next thing I think is just like stability when it comes to online gaming. Like the servers aren't awesome at times, and there's been like off and on dressing room errors and issues, and more on PlayStation than we see on Xbox. And I think that's because of the fact that they're playing the PlayStation 4 version of the game with guys on 5s and guys on 4s, which is causing a lot of issues. But ideally, just a stable online experience makes everything a lot better for us. I had Triz pull the numbers before, and it was only like 5% of games actually had a leg out in them, which is pretty low, and considering how many games we played a week throughout the 6 tiers. But ideally, I think like crossplay would be huge. Better server connection, like experience would be ideal. And I don't know. Besides that, I guess I'm kind of on the same. I'm kind of on the bring back full customized builds in SHL. I'm a big fan of that. I liked how that played before, and
Yeah.
what we have now is not too bad. But full custom builds I think is kind of in my wheelhouse of what I'd like to be able to play with and have control with. So we'll see.
Vatty, you want to ask Duwinkle's question?
Hold on.
It's about crossplay.
Yeah. Ooh, what would happen if cross-platform happened though?
Again, it's like one of those things that's like we're kind of putting the chicken before the egg here. There's so
Yeah.
many different things that there's a couple different variables and ways, ideas to implement something along those lines. Obviously, like as soon as I saw, like it's been like almost 10 months since I think FIFA or Madden announced that they were looking at options of that. So since that time, I've been like considering like what would that look like for us, for the league, and so on and so forth. And even too, there's a lot of programming behind the scenes. Like the league runs right now strictly based off of, you know, the team IDs that are linked to consoles. So it's like, it's programming changes for Triz to make as well too, because it's like the PlayStation Leafs are a different ID than the Xbox Leafs, and to kind of have that cross, if there's a cross play, like it's just so much work on that end as well. It's kind of difficult to say what we're going to do or what we could do or what's in the realm of possibility. But I think right now it's until something's official or we know what the direction's going to be or where we're going to head. I think right now it's just kind of preliminary thoughts and go from there. We'll see what hand we're dealt, but we'll see. There's lots of options, definitely lots of options. It would open up the doors for sure.
Yeah. I'm kind of based on that. I actually had a question of my own. So if I mean, would cross-platform be more beneficial or less beneficial for the league?
Well, I think right off the bat, like the first thing that does is esport events, right? Like the first question was asked, is it PlayStation esport events? Well, it's like if there was cross-play in a game, it's like then there would be no more Xbox esport events. It would literally be, here's an esport event, sign up, regardless of what console you're on, right?
Yeah.
So right
Yeah.
away, that's super beneficial for the site as a whole, because obviously that's that's the driving right now. We're trying to get as many teams as possible, drive that up as much as possible. When it comes to the free to play stuff, it all really depends on how it's implemented. Right now we've got 6 tiers, a ton of teams on both sides, so it's like we got to be very careful that we're not taking away opportunities from players and from teams, but also creating more opportunities the best we can. Then it also would kind of get to a point too where there'd be no more guys playing on both console, right? Because there'd be no real need to. It's like you're playing because we can commit people to playing on one console, which eliminates some of those issues, availability issues, so on and so forth. So I don't know. There's a lot of options, a lot of things that could play out. It really depends on what their options are and what happens with the game. We could be 2 years away, 2 game cycles away from this even being a reality. Like I said, it all really depends. Like I think if the writing's on the wall that like when a game like FIFA decides like we're gonna make a jump, it's like, well, they're gonna test everything, get all the bugs out of it. Once they know it's good to go, then you can see us or see NHL pushing towards something very similar based on the fact that FIFA had success and kind of got all the bugs out. So it's really up in the air of what this even could look like or what it would play like. So we'll see.
Yeah, they did that with Frostbite too. Like FIFA had
Yeah,
Frostbite.
that's a great example. Like NHL went I think 3 or 4 years without jumping to Frostbite. So
Yep.
I like
That's
the,
kind of what
I
I was
like
thinking
that.
along those lines too.
I love that we have the Frostbite engine for NHL. Just
it's more visual than anything. So
yeah.
it doesn't really hasn't really changed gameplay. I think
No.
it just makes the game a little bit nicer. Like
But I enjoy that. It looks nicer.
it overall, like Frostbite will open the door to shared tech and, you know, potentially having better things for NHL down the road, which is kind of cool.
Hmm.
No, it was definitely a step they had to make. Like, it's nice that everything's on the same playing field right now, right? That's kind of ideal. So
Yeah.
we'll see what doors that opens in the future for sure.
Okay. Sorry. I had a train of thought and I lost it there. People wanted to know what your favorite team you've played on, like in your entire tenure.
Jesus.
Well, you've played at all 3 tiers, so you could do like
Yeah,
per tier, I
on
guess.
both
Then
consoles. On both consoles too.
yeah. So you could technically, I guess, go like per tier.
I definitely think the Kingston team I played on at the beginning of this year was probably the best because it was active. We had a really active team, active TC. It was very easy to get games in and play, which was a lot of
Yes.
fun and a lot of chemistry. Disappointing end of the season. I definitely think we could have finished higher than we did, but obviously that Sault Ste. Marie team was quite the team that we ran into. So no, congrats to them. I don't really know. PlayStation, I've always found PlayStation really easy. Like, it's a way different game style, so it was
It really
playing over there
is.
was like I found it a little bit easier, and I also found too like the game is a little bit smoother on PlayStation, so I had a lot of fun over there as well. I ended up on a couple teams that were pretty good, and the last season I played there, I was like league minimum too, like on a really good salary on a really good team. We had a terrible playoff showing, which hurt obviously, but besides that, I think it's been PlayStation was always kind of fun. Good community, good group of people, a little bit of an older community too, which I found like was a little bit easier to play.
Yeah, like
And then it's been so long since I played the NHL and Xbox. Like, I just kind of, at the very beginning when we merged, that's kind of when I did it. Wasn't really anything special. It was the same, ego and shit that we see now, which wasn't really enjoyable. The AHL was always good. I think I played 3 or 4 seasons with Mackie. We had really good teams. That was always fun. But yeah, I definitely think though, right now for as much time as I have, the CHL has been fun because at least it's competitive for how much time I can put into the game. And I've played on a bunch of different teams in the C, which has been a lot of fun because they tend to be active. Like, that's kind of
Yeah.
another thing I've always wanted was I wanted to be on a team that's active, which is that's all that really matters. Like the team last year that I played, like last season I played on it, Kitchener wasn't active enough, which was kind of like, it is what it is. We were in a really weak division, so we made the playoffs pretty easy because of that, but we weren't active enough to really be good at all. So probably that was this season's decent too. Our line's been crazy active
Yeah.
up the last couple weeks, which has been good. But
now we just grind
I
out
think
the
probably
game.
I think the best team I ever played on was probably that team that Plymouth ran. It was just like I said, it was just so active. We had 3 really good lines. The line I played on was a lot of fun, so that made things really enjoyable. And we played as much. Pretty much, you could jump on any night pretty well and get on and play. And there was people to play with, which is always fun. And the TC was so active enough that even if we were missing someone to play club, there was always enough guys in the training camp that were skilled enough to play at a high level and make it worthwhile and made it fun. So
Because you started on PlayStation, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time ago. Like I had what was it? I played up on PlayStation until 17, and then when 18 came out is when I bought an Xbox. Because like all my buddies that used to play PlayStation just kind of quit playing,
Okay.
and so it was when I bought the Xbox that's how I found out about LG because it was someone from Drop In that told me I should come play LG.
Was it Twitch
So
Billy?
no, no, it wasn't.
I actually played. I think it was 06 and 07. I was on PlayStation as well, and I was like top 25 in versus before they came out with the SHL and stuff. And then I switched to Xbox. So I think when the Xbox One came out was when I made the flip as well.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's more competitive on Xbox. Like I have the PlayStation version of the game. I'm still level 1. I've only played club games like well,
I
I
don't
guess they
have it
call
this year.
pin games. They call them pin games on PlayStation, I guess,
Yeah,
but CCs. Yeah, it's all it played on PlayStation, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I think the biggest thing is the fact that the Xbox community's been around for so long that it's like, and this has been going so strong for Xbox for so long that it's been like that's a big reason why the community is so competitive. Because even at like obviously at the highest tier, like those teams and players that are next level, but like at like you're right in the middle of the row, or like even though like the teams at like the CHL level, it's like they all understand how to play structured hockey because of they've been doing this for so long that it's like it makes the games way more competitive.
yeah.
hmm
Where I don't like PlayStation's. No, there's been leagues and stuff on PlayStation, but like there's nothing to the degree that we have here or to the size that we have here. And even when EA did like their own playoffs and stuff, like the PlayStation teams always got hammered. Like I know
Yeah.
the VHL benefited huge. I think it was in like 2012 or maybe 13 when the PlayStation Network got hacked and people had their credit cards and like stolen and stuff.
Yes.
There's a bunch of really good PlayStation players jumped to Xbox when that happened.
Yep.
And a bunch of them joined LG. A bunch of them joined, started playing, like played VHL and everything too. And like guys like AJ Rockers and like Mike 24 Man, like guys like that, like those guys were like the top tier players from PlayStation, which didn't help the PlayStation community at all at that time either, and it never really recovered from there. Like,
That's
well, there's
I forgot about that.
definitely some good, there's
Yeah.
definitely some good players that are on PlayStation for sure, and no, if there was one league with everyone in it, like it would be really deep because of the PlayStation players.
hmm
The AHL, the CHL would benefit the most, obviously, because I wouldn't say there's a ton of guys that would be top tier NHL, but they would definitely have some guys for sure that could definitely keep up and add to the player depth for sure.
I remember I got my PlayStation like right at the start of COVID, and like I played NHL and strictly NHL on it for like the first like 3 months, and I was like, screw it, I'll play on PSN side and have a fresh start. And then I was like, okay, it was between like winter season and summer season, and they had like the PSN IHL was going on. And I went through the owners list. I'm like, I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone. I'm like, oh look, it's J Claus. I was like, okay, hi J Claus. I know you know me from Xbox Side. I'm trying it on PlayStation. Want to give me a shot? And he drafted me. I was like, sick. Made my name on PlayStation, winning like silver medal in IHL, playing for J Claus. And then Dangs was like, oh look at that. He's on PlayStation now. I'll pick him up.
That's
Yeah,
very
it's
cool.
good.
It's great because
Yeah, it's a really good community, and
Yeah.
like I said, the game definitely feels way smoother on PlayStation. Even too, like when I was at GWC and like in July, like they were playing all those games were on PlayStation 5. Like that was the console they used for the GWC was PlayStation 5. So the game just feels a lot less like clunky. Skating feels a lot better. Like it's just overall it's a better game on PlayStation. So it'd be ideal if they could somehow, some way make Xbox feel smooth like it is right now. Like PlayStation is, that'd be kind of better.
Sorry, Notorious was like Brody is melting into his chair.
Yeah, I am for sure. The laptop's on my lap too.
Sorry. It gave me a good chuckle.
Every time I move to it moves like crazy.
Makes sense.
Your
Fatty.
leg burning, like an old like. I remember as a kid, like I'd have my laptop on my leg and it would just burn the shit out of my leg.
Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
I used to do that in
This computer's pretty good.
high school, man. I'd be doing like schoolwork. I'd be like in bed with it on my like knees and thighs, and like I'd be typing, and then all of a sudden like it's just burning my legs. I'm like, holy shit.
Also, when laptops weighed like 30 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember I used to play Unreal all the time. And I had like burn marks on my leg from coming home from school and playing Unreal with those old ass laptops. I'm talking like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times.
So, do you have trade number 52 cooked yet? You already did one on the show.
Talks. I got talks. I mean, I have one I could send right now and get it done, but I'm still trying to convince myself that I want to do that one. So
Oh, He's stuck at 51, people. Danky, it's your time to shine, bud. You're only like 9.5 back. And then,
Oh,
then
top 5 worst managers is not fair to do to anybody. I will
Top-
never do that.
top 5 worst managers. Oh man. 1, me. Straight up, I was a horrible manager.
You're pretty good. I mean, I remember those Drummondville teams.
Okay, I was
Portland.
good like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
So,
I ran a stupid good San Diego Gulls team once. That's about it.
season 38 Kansas City Mavericks. Worst managers of all time.
I mean, they were the whole team, so yeah.
Yeah. Literally.
That's really intelligent. Do we really call that bad management or just stupid management?
Season 35 Laval Rocket. 6 wins, 82 games.
Yeah.
That initially that team was Rolling J's team. He was like, I remember he actually put in like an ownership application and was denied. And I remember seeing him getting mad in the application posts. And I remember Brody replying, being like, maybe you should try your luck in the AHL first. Something like that. So he got Laval, had like 2-win week, and then quit.
Yep.
And then they, finished with 6 wins. At one point, they had like a 34-game losing streak. Like,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
I understand quitting on an entire team when you're in charge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's just yuck.
Bumpy's
Yeah,
team.
that's tough.
A few seasons. The Bumpy's team and that Kingston team, same season. Kingston imploded.
It was.
And it ended up
Oh,
being
yeah.
Big G at the end of the season, but like that team imploded. And Bumpy was just, it was a really bad team. They had like 8, I think they had 8 wins, which is what Peterborough's currently at.
Yeah. Was it WJC season 18, Netherlands?
Oh, yeah, let's not talk about Brody. We were literally online, the 3 of us, and yeah. I still can't believe,
Yeah.
I can't believe that one.
Yeah, for like a week.
1-19-3 or something like that, or 4. 1-19-4. And our line went 1-4-3.
I think the
I think I played
tough.
3 games.
Yeah. Yeah. The hardest part about that was we led every game.
Yeah.
Lost because like just dumb stuff.
That was
but
also
yeah.
back when we were playing 4-4-4 too.
Yeah.
I literally didn't even. That's the first time, like almost ever, I've been called out for work during a game, and it would happen 3 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I literally missed I think I played 3 games that whole thing because I got called out.
Convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I think my most favorite Brody comment though was when 22 dropped and it was all the box playing, and we just got pelted like 10-1. Brody comments in there, some of you guys are lucky that being staff doesn't require skill, because a lot of you wouldn't be here.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Oh yeah, that was good. Good times.
And then I just finger pointed at Facchetti.
Oh,
Cut
yeah.
you guys some slack. I was playing the game a lot longer than you guys were.
It was literally like 2 weeks into the game. It was just like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like right when the game came out. It was pretty interesting. When Big Tipper would redirect something 34 feet the other way.
Your goalie's going to make a high glove save, and it's like Big Tipper, and it's like bottom right corner, and it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, the X Factors are a cool idea. They're just a little bit like broken.
Yeah. There's like even with like the one-timer, the gold one-timer perk, like a goalie could be in perfect position to hit him right in the chest, hits the ice, and then like shoots in the net. Like weird shit like that.
Problem is, there's like the goalie ones aren't good enough to counter any of the skater ones. So like you're constantly scoring goals that are just like, so even too like some of the hardest games this season we play are against teams that aren't as skilled as we are, but just shoot everything. And they all have heat seeker.
Mhm.
Like those are some of the most like frustrating games because like teams just it's easy to gain the line, like gain the line, shoot. It's like, oh, sick, like you're awesome. And then we go down now and you cycle for a bit, get a couple good chances and you score, but it's just like, man, like all it takes is that one come across the blue line press off, and it's like, wow, that's skilled, that's awesome.
Like, it's Heatseeker literally almost made me not play goalie last season, like re-sign with Innate, because that's how we lost Game 7 when we were with Winnipeg. It was literally like round 3, Game 7, 0-0, starting the second period. They win the face-off. Ram literally takes one step over the blue line, and he has like an offhanded wrist shot, and it just like Heatseeker top corner. My goalie didn't budge, and I was like, great. And then we lost 1-0.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like it's it's like I said, they're a cool addition. They just like something to be tuned.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah,
I'm just
at least.
personally shocked that they haven't taken advantage of the microtransactions that us idiots would all do to get our guys leveled up as soon as possible.
Yeah.
I think there's just been so much hate though. Like, wasn't one of the Battlefield games for them like
Yeah.
for microtransact like?
Well, Battlefront, right? I think that's the one you're probably talking about.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, I just don't see them doing that to such a small niche community because like it was way different back in the day when you could buy like boost packs and you could
I
buy
missed
like,
that.
the plus sevens and all that shit. But like,
Mhm.
I don't see them. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
The bag shit's got to go though, because by the time I'm P2,
Oh, it's
my goalie, like I don't have goalie bags anymore. Everything comes out of goalie bags, a skater piece.
Yeah.
It's just it's pointless. Like the problem with the game now is it's not like it used to be. Like grinding the game doesn't mean shit anymore.
Nope.
100%.
Like it's
There's
just
no reason to play it. There's literally no reason to play at all.
Like,
Yep.
And like the playoff system, the playoff system they have in place is like, it's a neat idea, but it means nothing to majority of the player base. Like it's just like it's pointless. It's not competitive, challenging. You have no idea where you are in the standings or leaderboards until it's over. And you're like, oh, I guess I was here. That's cool. Like it's not like how it was in like 14, like NHL 14 stuff where you could see the leaderboards, you could see where you compared to people, and I think it was 13. You had like the competitive and like the casual divisions and playoffs. Like
yeah.
it just meant more then, and when you had to like grind to get your legend card and like, play the game, like yeah, that sucked to get like 350 games or whatever the hell we used to have to play. But
Yeah.
at least there was a purpose and a reason to play. Right now,
Yeah.
it's just like it's not there. Like if it wasn't for leagues and stuff, it's just not there.
yeah,
The
that's
drop-
exactly.
And the drop-in experience is so horrible right now that like I remember like old gen games I used to play like 1,000 drop-in games because
Well,
I'd jump on no and be honest.
You'd go to the OTP
Yeah.
lobbies. You just jump in and it'd be like
Yeah,
North
which would be
America
better.
1, and then there's like 50 people. Bang, game right there.
The experience was just way better, it was enjoyable. And I've said to EA for like 3 or 4 years now, they need to figure out a way to like tie like drop-in to offline be a pro to ESHL. Like it needs to kind of filter into it. There needs to be like a scouting system. There needs to be a way to like draw players to play competitive club, to play sixes, to meet people. Like because like the community side of things and like the social aspect that the OTP lobbies brought is just not there anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So no, their concept of like you can roll into the games faster, like all that makes sense. Like I get it. Like I remember I was there when they were like, okay, we're doing this, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. Never really considered how it was going to have the effect on the game like it had. Like I said, the social aspect is gone.
Yeah. There's no meeting new people.
Found out about LG from an OTP lobby.
Yep.
Like,
Well, yeah, because
That's
there's
how I
always
found out,
people
too.
advertising.
Yeah, that's
And
how
even
I found out too.
Like those lobbies are basically what the shout box is now. Like that's what it was back
Yeah.
then.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when it was like it was actually fun. Like Brody said, like if there wasn't LG, I wouldn't play, because like going into dropping now is fucking miserable.
well, it's not like their offline modes are giving you much either.
No,
Yeah.
no. Like even too, I hate the fact that you're playing in casual clothing and the player models move differently in those compared to what they do
Yep.
playing it with your pro, because it gives everyone the illusion that you're skating faster than you actually are. And it's like, I understand that, but you're not. Like, it's the exact same game style, but your guy animates differently, and I don't like it. It's too Mickey Mouse. It has nothing to do with ESHL. Like, it's just so far away from what the competitive scene looks like now. It's so disconnected in my opinion. I just don't understand why it's like this. But so every year, it's like those are the conversations we have about, can we make these modes matter? And Pro Am's a good example. Like, Pro Am's pointless. Like, why would you ever play ESHL offline? Like, it makes no sense. And they're like, well, it's a pretty active mode when the game comes out. It's like, yeah, because we're all grinding it to get experience to unlock our boosts and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
of course
'cause-
it's busy, but it's like it's such a pointless waste of time and space. Like, you should have put that money into, or that time into other aspects of the game. I'm just like, I don't get it.
yeah.
Pro-Am is boring as shit.
The game is just so the game's too casual in too many aspects right now, which is unfortunate because it's like,
There's still a
it's
strong
difficult.
community.
That's
Well,
why
it's
it was.
difficult because like we're constantly like, we're here to represent a competitive community. So when I'm having these conversations about the game, the direction, and all the stuff, it's just like, this is the way I want it to go, but it's like this sucks because it's like, it's taking so long for them to get to where I think it needs to be.
Mhm. Well, like back
Oh.
in the day, casual play was the OTP
Yeah,
and all that, right? And if you wanted to play competitively, you'd go play club.
yeah.
Like that's how it was back then. Now it's
Yeah.
just like, dude, I'm telling you, like, and I'm not some like stud by any means, but when we get into a game like with our team and we match Joe Schmo's team, and it's fucking 10-1, and we're still in the second period. Oh my god, like it's zero fun for anyone. Like I don't know, like there's so many times this year in this game that I faced like one shot through 3 periods in club games, and it's fucking miserable.
Yeah, you're playing with a guy. When we did a few nights ago, we did like an all staff sixes, and like we played a game and we won like 8-3, and one of the guys is like, "Can we just play somebody with some brain cells?" Like, because
Yeah.
it's not even like those games aren't even fun anymore. Like, two guys ran Enforcer and they had like 75 hits. Like,
Yeah, that's not fun.
that's just
It's
a
not
waste
really-
of time. Like,
No,
Yeah, and
it's
that's
not at all.
how clubs heading that way.
Yeah, like I said,
Um,
it's very casual at times, and it's unfortunate. Like, it'd be nice to see the game cater like a lot more towards what the competitive community is saying and wanting. 'Cause it's just like, man, like it's not there.
right?
I just find it crazy that actually a lot of the EA Sports games, me and Major were talking about this a few days ago, Buck.
okay.
Like all of the EA Sports games have like gone backwards. Like even go look at Madden 07.
Yeah.
Like they had radio show in the franchise mode.
Hmm.
Or Madden 25 had like the 3v3 experience, which there was actually a Madden League in LG from it.
Yeah.
Like it's just I don't feel like it's only NHL. I
It-
almost feel like it's a lot of sports games.
I feel like
Except
it's
FIFA.
cost. It's a cost thing though, cause like to add those now and get all the like the guests and whatnot.
I get it. It's just it sucks. And I think
Oh,
everyone
100%.
goes back and is like, why can't we have the features we had
I think
3 generations ago?
I also think that's a major reason why they went to Frostbite, because the biggest problem is every time they change generation of console, they lost all that stuff. Like all of it was
Mhm.
lost. But it's
Yeah.
like it was lost because of the fact that they couldn't transfer that data over. It's like, well,
Yep.
why can't we do it? So a big reason of that was because they didn't have what they have now, right? So it's like, having what they have now is kind of changing all that with Frostbite. So
That's
I think
exciting then.
yeah, I think they're hopeful that obviously, because that was one of the biggest reasons. Like when it came down to NHL 15, it's like, well, why wasn't there a club? It's like because they couldn't. It wasn't as simple as like, well, just copy and paste, because like that doesn't exist. That wasn't an option. It was like two completely different engines.
Mhm.
Like it just didn't play out the way they wanted it to play out. So yeah, it wasn't ideal for sure. So
I remember when I bought 15 and it didn't have club, and I was like, "What the shit?" It's like, what
Yeah.
am I gonna play now?
I remember
But
when
it's-
I found out it didn't have that. Like it was early. Like we knew in like the summer And it was like right after we just had the 2 seasons after the VHL merge, and it was like, oh no, we had so much momentum. It was just such a step backwards for us. So
I remember that.
Mhm.
I almost,
it was not as it was similar to like these seasons too. No, I've known since January of last year it was going to be on 4 consoles, and I was like, oh, this is such a step backwards. No, we
Yeah.
came through it a lot better than we did. What we did before, like with
yeah, the
Gamer
last time, yeah.
but still, it's just like, man, like, doesn't make any sense. And it literally just came down to the fact that, like, there was no copy and paste. They only had so much time to get certain features in, and ESHL didn't make it into 15. It's just like, fuck, like, it just sucked. Like, it just wasn't priority at the time. And
I literally had bought the Xbox.
With everything, with the way things are now, and they can release an update that adds so much or fixes things and stuff like that, like it's almost to the point where, like, do you need to release a game every year?
yeah,
Like,
we've had that conversation too, but I think that just literally comes down to what does the NHL want?
yeah,
It's a licensed game. Like, what's the NHL want?
Yeah, like a UFC or like an old like Fight Night game. Like those came out like once every 3 years or whatever.
hmm
That'd be interesting. I mean, that's a good point though. Like the NHL has to have a say in that too. There's a lot of factors that go into this small little community game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, it's licensed, right? Like that's the biggest thing is the NHL wants their cake and eat it too, right? So
You know what I miss about NHL games? I miss voting for the cover athlete. As dumb as as dumb as it is, like that made it interesting. Cause like you could pick
Yeah.
favorites and be like, I don't want that fucking guy on the cover. I want this guy instead, and vote against them like on purpose. Like now it's just like here, have the same thing that you had 3 years ago.
yeah, I was really surprised to see Matthews kind of do that, like that comeback. I was like, well, that's what we're doing. That's the direction we're going. I was surprised to see that kind of happen. I was like, okay.
Like the OV
Mhm.
cover was amazing. Loved the OV cover.
They
Like,
don't even tell us either. Like what's like literally like one of the last things they tell us is like who is on it. Like I think that usually what'll happen, well, recently anyways, is like the day that they're gonna release the trailer, we get like a quick, hey, trailer's coming today. Here's your cover athlete. We're like, oh, cool. Like they don't tell us anything anymore until like the last second when it comes to that stuff. So maybe they're worried about leaks, obviously, which is whatever. But I'm just like, it's a lot different than what it was before.
Yeah, there used to be like amp and anticipation.
yeah.
Now it's just
And
like,
it would be like
okay.
announced at the NHL awards and like it was a huge thing.
I think the big thing now is the fact that it's off that time cycle, right? Like that worked really well when the awards were in June and the game is coming out in January or in September. But it's like, the game cycles rotated because of COVID. That's not the case anymore. So
Yeah.
Who do you want to see on the cover? Real question.
A goalie for once.
I mean, we got Brodeur.
Yeah, like how many years ago?
NHL 14.
Yeah, like that's.
I don't know. I'm a fan of like someone being on the cover that's like has like ties to why the game is the way it is. Like if they're gonna do like they did a major overhaul to skating. McDavid was on the cover. That made sense to me.
Mhm.
If they're gonna put a goalie on the cover, like I'd like to at least see them put a major overhaul in a goalie, so it's like, hey, it makes sense why there's a goalie on the cover kind of thing, right? So
Yeah, like a need save perk.
Gazelle,
Yeah,
have you
like-
seen the
yeah.
concept art for the Igor Shesterkin cover with the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building in the background?
no,
I
It's
have.
freaking insane. He's got like he's holding his like stick up and it's like one of the like the rivers is like frozen and it's got like the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State in the background. It's just sick.
Nice.
I was just like,
part of me is also like, does the cover even matter? Because like no one buys the disc anymore. Like no one buys the hard version of the game. Like it's
yeah, that's another thing too.
But it looks good on the Xbox.
well, if that's the case, you should just be able to pick like,
Pick your own
Who you
thumbnail.
want?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
that'd
yeah,
pretty
that would be cool. Like favorite team. Like you pick your favorite team, you just pick your cover athlete.
Yeah.
yeah.
that'd be pretty cool.
Can it be my Be a
Probably
Pro?
It'd probably be too expensive for them to do, just based on the fact that it's like, hey, it's like they got to pay these guys to be on the cover and that stuff. But
Yeah.
Just take
So-
their official team picture for when.
Some
When they
Someone in
throw
the
the
chat said Makar would be the cover athlete. I mean, hell, that'd be a good one.
Makar would
Can we
be
just
a good
have
one.
Chris Tanev and that photo, the headshot that was so funny for a while?
Oh my god, the ghost hit.
You remember that? Yeah.
The-
Have that be the cover.
I still loved the People's Choice cover from when John Scott was in the All Star game. It was like NHL 16 or 17, I think. There was like
Yeah.
a concept cover of John Scott, and I was like, yeah, that would have been perfect. In the gold All Star jersey. Miss those days.
Yeah, God, that was a long time ago now.
It's been a while.
Well, unless we get any more questions, I'm pretty sure we're good to wrap it up here, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a longer night tonight again, but that's okay. We enjoyed. We have a guest. It's always fun time.
If you believe the leaked image, it's going to Zegras.
I've heard that too.
I'd like to see Zegras or Kaprizov, personally.
That'd be cool. Is Kaprizov back in Minnesota yet? Real question.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Week
It just
ago.
happened a few days ago.
They confirmed it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
a week ago. Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right.
If they put Zegers on the cover, it makes sense. Like he's kind of this new generation of hockey, right? Like that would make sense to me. But
Yeah.
He's such a humble, exciting player to watch too.
Yeah.
Like his like intermission interviews, like post game interviews are always like he's so humble and like he's just like he's literally just a kid.
Yep. Yeah, that's for sure.
The next face of hockey. All right, no, nothing from the chat. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We will catch you guys next week somehow. Gazelle will be taking over the streaming for next week and the week after, as I'm going to be on my trip. One day I will be on my Chromebook, another day I'll probably be on my cell phone, but that's okay. If we have to pre-record a show, we might have to do that too, just to make it work. But
Mm-hmm.
thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Ciao.